As the title of this is captioned, Troubled in Paradise, the Maldives is one of those areas, one of those remote island areas that does look reminiscent of a tropical paradise or a paradise island, so to speak. Very beautiful, but within it, hostilities arising. We have a crisis that, at the heart of it, this looks to be locking in India and China in this tug of war, so to speak. And this only has a population of some 400,000 people. It has 10 times more sea than it does land. But it seems to be the focus here of an extended rivalry between China and India. Now, I talked about these guys before, clashing over different mountain regions, the Himalayas, and how they were building these roadways. And as I speak, the tension continues there between these two. Now, when you look at this region where the Maldives sits, down here, south of India and Sri Lanka, closer to them by far, nowhere near China in a sense in this. But what's China saying? China is threatening India and saying that if you come down here, if you send any warships to come down here and do anything, we're going to stop you. Just boldly threatening them. Trying to state that if you make a move, we're going to do something against you. Now, this is what it's boiling down to. Control of the leadership. Just like it seems to always come down to in these countries. There's always coups or these overthrows or all this stuff going down until there's a puppet representing the winner in position. And say this is going to continue on here between the two until one is dominant in this region. Now, right now, this is how it sits. The area divided over this political crisis. We have two sides, each calling on one of the big neighbors, India and China, to step in. Now, in early February, the Maldives Supreme Court dropped charges against the opposition leader and pro-Indian former president Mohammed Nasheed, and they ordered that 12 opposition parliamentarians who had been stripped of their seats be reinstated. Now, the current president, which is pro-Chinese Abdullah Yameen, overruled this court decision and declared a state of emergency. So, he, not wanting to leave power and being pro-Chinese and backed by the Chinese, basically instead of stepping down after this was ordered, he orders his own state of emergency. Now, 2 Supreme Court judges and another former pro-Indian president were arrested on charges of attempting to overthrow the government. So, it's chaos on the ground here. And between the two, you have Yameen sending out envoys to China, Pakistan, and Saudi Arabia, and Nasheed, who is calling on the U.S. and India. So you can see right here what sides these countries are going to fall on in terms of a big war. It comes down to a big war here globally. Obviously, it's looking like India would fall on the side of the United States, and China is going to be on the other side of that. India and China on multiple fronts here, not getting along. And I just wanted to make note of it because this is a whole new region you can add to the map where there's a dispute going on. So, I'll leave a link and I'll continue to update. It's been Dabu7.